morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good.
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 Excellent.
How are you doing, sir?
Oh, dude. Awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome. I'm doing awesome. Uh, Another visit to Mount Olympus and, all the like gluttonous behavior that I don't know, Zeus throws at his parties or whatever. I don't know, I didn't know what the good metaphor would be for it, but yeah, it's awesome. The weather forecasts overnight have gotten colder. Uh,
Okay.
GFS 34 day has a significantly colder period going into March. But that's the 34 days, so it doesn't it's seen, but it's not like the markets usually a lot of times don't react to things until they're within like a week to 10 days of where we're at because could be a lot of I guess fluctuations in the forecast. Is that the nice way to put it?
Spaghetti noodles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like spaghetti noodles all over because it's just a line graph, and then the lines are just like all over the place, like out there.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's a good way to put it. Fluctuations.
yeah.
That's nice.
And then let's see, the GFS ensemble uh has gotten colder. The warming trough that's coming in that we're not the one that we're coming into because like right now we're in a warming trough. So it's like, so when I say trough, I'm saying like if you're looking at a line graph for heating degree days, for people back home, you have a line graph for it. The heating degree days is lower, so it's not as uh, cold, and so then there's less demand. So that's what I mean by a trough in heating degree days. We're gonna have another cold spell though uh, this weekend. So we're looking at like the 18th and 19th time frame. Uh, going to be colder, and then it's going to warm back up again. And so that second trough for next week, next week again, the cold always comes in on the weekends. Why is that? Like, so you can't enjoy your day off. That's why. Oh, what Saturday? You think you're gonna have a nice picnic out? With the family? No, you're not. We're gonna have 20-mile-an-hour winds, and it'll be cold, freezing. That's what's gonna happen. So yeah, no, weekends are canceled unless you like love
that's
cold crap.
the same. That's the same with the next one after that on the
Yeah.
26th.
Yep. The next
So
one after that,
every every every
every
weekend.
weekend for the month,
Yes.
literally every weekend for the month.
It's just shitty.
No, but when you're at work though, dude, it can be like 65 and sunny.
Yeah, in
Well,
February,
yeah, yeah, you
right?
enjoy that view from your office. At least the weather will be nice when I'm walking across the parking lot at Costco, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're going to be cold weather coming in to the U.S. on the GFS ensemble. It says starting on the 24th, and then right now the current peak is on the 26th of February. This is February we're talking about because we're talking about the ensemble here. It peaks out at 26 heating degree days on the 26th, and the norm for that, because we're rolling into later in the season, it's the 30-year norm is getting significantly warmer. So the heating degree day demand for the 26th of February, the 30-year average is 20, and the peak is expected to be 26. So that's significantly colder than the 30-year norm for people who are keeping track of that. And right now there's a lot, like just in the last day. I mean, because that iterate the for people who don't know, the GFS ensemble runs every 6 hours, and so just the last four iterations, there's a big difference between like 24 hours ago and now. Like there's been big changes in it, so definitely wanting to look for some confirmation on one of the four, because like you were saying, after this cold hump that we're coming into this weekend, it's like spaghetti noodle arms going everywhere. They're like the flying spaghetti monster in the air. So definitely, I personally like to get a little bit more confirmation, like, where it's like, oh, okay, this looks a little bit more consistent because right now between all of the different iterations, there's quite a bit of variance in the heating degree days that's on there. And let's
Yeah,
see here.
it's a 14-day
Oh,
forecast for the
hmm
first 6 days. All all four iterations. So the chart that we're looking at, it has a 24 hours worth of iterations, and so
hmm
it's four because they run every six. But so all four are on the same track for the first 6 days, and after that, they'd all just fly off the rails. And
yeah.
so it's like, I mean, it could show like Ice Age cold on there on one of the iterations, but I'm not really gonna believe it in a situation like this just because it's not confirmed. We've seen plenty of times where it'll show one iteration that's just it's an outlier, and then it's
hmm
corrected in the next iteration. Um, but right now, the ECMWF ensemble is also it's showing a little bit above 26 heating degree days for that, but it's on a
hmm
different day, right? It's
Yeah, it's on a different day. That's the thing. Yeah, it's on the 24th. And so
yeah.
that's the thing. Like, they're both saying that there's cold weather out there, but there's discrepancy on to what day it's going to hit and then what the weather looks like beyond that. Like, there's even bigger discrepancy between on that. Like, after you get past that February 24th to 26th, what the weather's going to look like past that, there's even more discrepancy, obviously, because, I guess maybe I'm saying something obvious because it's farther out in time. But they're both saying we got cold weather, for not only this weekend that's coming up, but the weekend after. So, no board shorts and, tank tops, unless you just love being freezing. I don't. I love sweatpants and, comfy stuff. And let's see here. Um, so needless to say, because there is, plenty of cold weather all over the place out there on the forecasts. Prices are up today, and they filled a gap, which is like a technical uh, indicator. For people who look at technicals. We try to talk about sentiment and fundamentals and technicals. When we talk about gas. There's the gap. There was the gap that was formed last week.
Right here.
Uh, and oh yeah, you can see it on Professor's charts right there. Yep, there's that gap. We have come up and filled that gap, as you can see on today's candle. It's a daily chart, and yeah, we've kind of come back down off the peak, which for March was currently 462 for the day. Come down off that. April, so that peak was 449. And so the Widowmaker, that's the spread, by the way, between March and April contracts. It's a little bit narrower. It narrowed up a bit. It was more closer to like 15 earlier, 15 cents earlier today, and then it narrowed up. It's more closer to 11 now, 11 cents. So we got a little bit narrower. We've seen it to where it was like a penny, and so it like fluctuates. And that's why that spread's called the Widowmaker. For people who don't, it's just every day. It's just like where it's like an accordion, just and if you want some real high risk trading, then I'll tell you what. I know you don't need to look any farther. It's right there, staring you in the face.
Yeah.
Called the Widowmaker.
There's a reason
Made a
it's
lot of
called the
widows
Widowmaker.
back in the day.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the price is going to do in the next 5 minutes, but I'll tell you what. Let's see here. April right now, we're up at above 440. Yeah, I'll be that guy. Like 5 weeks between now and the last day of trade in April, price is not going to be this high. Price is going to be lower. I'm not saying they're not going to go up from here because they obviously could, but I'm just saying like you're looking for something that kind of like then you know prices are not going to be at some point between now and then. Price for April contract will be lower.
I think you're right.
Let's see here.
Well, so I've got it
Oh,
drawn on the chart here. I usually don't
yeah.
pay attention to gaps, but recently we've started kind of transitioning toward incorporating more technicals into our trading, and so this is like the one of the, let's see, we're just paying attention to this gap is all, and so it got there and then got to like 460 and then just started selling off. It's not massive. I mean, I don't. It looks like there's a lot of indecision about it still. The price they
Hmm.
might try to push it up to 480 would be like the next big critical area of resistance.
Hmm.
Looking at technicals, um, so I mean, it might go there. It might go there.
Yeah. Yeah. The market's not even open yet. I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
we're not even regular trading hours. Uh, see here, we're at just over 35,000. Yeah, just over. There's a glare on my monitor there. Oh, just over 35,000 contracts. Uh, so far today, open interest is down big time. I mean, we're at 55,000 contracts right now.
Yeah, the March contract stops trading next Thursday, not tomorrow, but the week after,
Mm-hmm. 24th, right?
24th. Yep.
Is that the 24th? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then we'll and I'm pretty sure you will too, but I'll have my charts switched over to the April contract at that point, just because I think volume will be higher then, or on that contract it'll be more fluid price action.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that starting Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, depending on where you're at in the world, uh, volume will have shifted drastically over to April.
Yeah,
I say Monday or Tuesday because for those who don't know, Monday is President's Day, so like the New York Stock Exchange is closed.
all right.
Geopolitical stuff, still tensions with Russia, Ukraine, Belarus. Uh, Russia has said that they're like withdrawing some troops from the border where they said they were doing training exercises, and from Crimea, they said they were doing training exercises there also. So that's what they said is going on. Obviously, all this kind of stuff that goes on with those sorts of things, it's always just like a waiting game. People are doing stuff, they're moving the, quote unquote chess pieces around, the metaphorical chess pieces, and you just gotta wait and see and uh, see what happens. Uh, if there was an invasion of some kind, then I think the prices would spike. Prices of natural gas uh, would spike, is what I think would happen.
Yeah, they're doing. I kind of like stopped paying attention to the drills that they're doing. I knew they were doing drills in Belarus. I know Ukraine was doing drills like 20 miles north of the Crimean border. I think Russia was doing like naval drills in the Black Sea. I think, but yeah, when they say that, just like you're saying, like it takes a while. All these things take a while to move chess pieces around, and then Russia says that they've withdrawn some troops from the border, but then the U.S. says that they have yet to verify that, which is surprising. Usually they're pretty quick about coming out with like intelligence. I guess like intelligence leaks.
Until it's no longer something to make a crisis over.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good observation.
Because it's not a crisis if,
If it's
uh,
de-escalating.
yeah, if it's de escalating. Can't have like the breaking news banner, like boom, boom, boom. This just in. Dun, 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 dun. This
Yeah.
just in. Everything is all good. We're okay. You never see breaking news like that. It just like stops being mentioned,
Yes.
and then there's just some new, thing. someone poured lead paint in the water or whatever.
Yeah.
Trees are dying.
Let's see. Yep, price action. Let's look at 15-minute candles here. This happens a lot. You see it. Is that price action respects VWAP intraday?
Hmm.
Obviously, well, maybe it's not obvious. VWAP. I think most people have it to where the parameters it resets it every day, so it's just for day trading.
Yeah. Hmm. Totally. Yes. Like so. Yeah. Like what you were saying. It's above VWAP. It's been above VWAP. It's an upward trending day. If the price were to break below VWAP, that would be a big intraday indicator for like day traders and stuff. Because it usually, in my experience, respects VWAP one way or the other. If it's been below VWAP most of the day and it goes up to VWAP, it'll VWAP will act as resistance. If it's like today, and then VWAP will often act as support. Today it's been trending above. It's been trending above VWAP mostly.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it yesterday too, right here. This is yesterday's price action. Fell off a cliff here, sold off a bunch, and then hit VWAP hesitancy, and then it sold off until huge volume in the afternoon, and went right back to where it started. I think that'll be the real a real confirmation is this afternoon.
Oh yeah.
When volume picks back up, see what happens. If it, for that, yeah, I'm talking about technical
Oh,
confirmation.
that's right. Technical confirmation of the volume spike, the daily volume spike.
Yeah, it's like it happens again every day. Sometimes it's more than others, of course, but it seems like it's HFTs, high frequency traders. It's just like computer trading. It's like huge volume, and a lot of times nothing happens. Or like
Uh
it's like a doji. Yesterday, definitely, like
Something happened.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the
Uh,
biggest price action I've seen. That I mean, in recent memory.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, for people who don't know what we're talking about, if you look at like 15-minute candles, it'll be like the 2 East Coast time, like 2:15 to 2:30 candle. Uh, we'll just have a ton of volume on it. Uh, so like yesterday it was 5,700
yeah.
for that 15-minute time frame, which was the highest volume 15-minute candle of the entire day, and that is not unusual. Like we've seen like 15,000
Well, didn't we see
before.
20,000? Like,
We have seen
yeah, it
20,000.
was. I forget it was last week or the week before. It was recent though.
Yeah, we saw over 20,000. So that's just to like give people, the idea of often, not always, but often it is the number one like volume candle in the day. And if it's not the number one, it's usually like in the top three. Again, nothing's 100%. There's no absolutes except like, death and taxes or whatever.
Yeah.
But, that's something that we've noticed through trading. Something we pay attention to.
Yeah, and so like there's this, I don't know, I'd call it like a 5 cent area. We're at the bottom of that area right now, so I'm calling it like 455 to 460, somewhere in there. That's the like technical resistance that we're looking at on this daily chart here behind me.
Mm-hmm.
If it holds and breaks, I think that I would think if it holds here, I don't know what to think. It's like this is all kind of new. So what I'm thinking here is that even if it does hold here in this area, um, if it does hold here, then tomorrow could be a sell off day. If it's not, then it could go up to 480. I'm thinking that it won't do that today. It's already up almost 24 cents, 5.5%. That's not to say like that's going to stop it from moving up, but it's already gone up a lot today. And usually, if it goes up too much in one day, then the next day it just sells off. So, or vice versa. But I mean, we're looking at
Right.
this season, so I'm talking more what's relevant
Mhm.
now.
Mhm. Yeah, totally.
But yeah, if it sits here in this range, I'd be especially interested to see what happens tomorrow. For that reason, like, because I don't know, I'm not sure. It kind of sold off there for a second, or somebody had a lot of selling, hit that technical indicator, and they were done. It might go up to 480 though. I don't really see it going up higher than that. It could though. I read some stuff yesterday that people were saying 550s in the books, or it's on the docket still.
Yeah, because of the cold weather from March. That's what they're looking for.
I don't. Yeah, maybe. I didn't read the whole article because I thought it was pretty ridiculous. Honestly, I just saw the 550 level was there, and it'd be pretty surprising for the April or the March contract to be at 550.
Maybe they know another person who's going to get fired on the last day of the contract. For people who don't know what we're talking about, when a February contract expired, there was somebody with, I don't know, like 5,000 contracts that they were short on. And in order to close out a short position, they have to buy contracts. Well, on the last day of the contract, there's like no volume. Like you do like 5,000 over the course of like the entire day. And so in the last hour, the contract went up like like $3.50. It literally went up to like 750 from $4. From like $4 area, went up like 750. Like it just like the circuit breakers got tripped and just like this because it just went straight up. And I think the circuit breakers got tripped twice. Is what I read. And yeah, it was a lot of money got lost by somebody, probably for the last time.
Probably.
So that's what we meant by that was the joke by that. Like, unless someone knows something that we don't know, and someone's caught holding some shorts that they're not looking to close out till the very last day, because the rookie fell asleep at the terminal. Uh,
Yeah, that's a hard thing about trading is you have to make decisions, um, not knowing if you're right or wrong until after the fact. And yeah, so someone holding short, being short a position, holding a short position, uh, until like the very last day, like they weren't able to make a decision beforehand to like to obviously they were upside down, right? They were probably
right.
upside
Oh
down,
yeah.
and
Hmm.
then they just wanted to wait until the last day, just holding out to see if they could turn it around or see if the market would turn it around for them,
Right.
and they were not able to make the decision in like the week prior or whatever. They had plenty of opportunities to
Oh
uh
yeah.
to make a decision to
That's what's hilarious about that. Yeah.
yeah to exactly to mitigate some of the loss or whatever, be in a better situation than what happened that last day. And yeah, that's the hard part about it is making decisions without knowing if you're right or wrong until after the fact, after it's written in stone.
Yeah. Obviously, me saying what I'm going to say is speculation. Because I'm not that person who did that. But my speculation is that the person got greedy, and that's why they didn't close out a short position. And then instead of being able to realize gains, they had to realize a huge loss,
Right.
all because of greed. That's what I think happened. And like you were saying about prices being like 550 or whatever, later, from here between now and I don't know the end of next week is the I didn't read what you read, but my guess is that they're predicting that it would be that in the next like week, because that's what most markets like look at.
Hmm.
uh I don't expect that either, uh but anything can happen.
Yeah, I don't. I
But if
just
it
don't.
but if it does, oh sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. No, you're 100% good. Go for it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I think we're both on the same page in thinking this way. But like the only thing that'll push prices up at this point in the season to 550 would be a Russian military action.
Yeah, that's what I think. Something like that where it's a knee-jerk reaction that's gonna cause something like that, which would then cause just a massive short squeeze. I think where
Massive
everyone's like,
everything. Yeah.
yeah, massive buying. Buy first, ask questions later for people going long, and then people who are short, like closing out short positions. Just like it'd be another one of those days where you do like over 200,000 volume. People can look back on the dailies, and that's we have days like that, and you can see that the candles on those days are very tall, and it'd be a day like that where we would just do over like 200,000 volume, and it'd just be hysteria. Uh, and people can see that's what happened in order to get the price up to 550, and that was coming off the back end of someone falling asleep at the terminal and pushing February contract up over $7, uh, which pushed March up. So those are reasons why I don't think prices are going to go that high based off of fundamentals. Obviously, sentiment can change that, as we've seen. Uh, if that does happen, you know, then I'm prepared for it. It's kind of like when it happened last time. It was just like grapes being fed to me, right now I'm like up in Mount Olympus, but that was like I don't know, go to like the VIP suite or something.
Yeah. Now you're just like you're hanging out. You're hanging out. You're one of the boys, but no one's feeding you grapes.
Yeah, exactly. Like at the party, got the invite. I'm at the party, and it's cool because I'm drinking some like overpriced champagne, and that I did not have to pay for. But yeah, you're just like hanging out because you got the invite at the mansion, but
Yep.
which is good enough for me. Which is good enough for me. But because I didn't think last time I was not that happened. Uh, I was not expecting prices to go to what did they top out at 557 too. I wasn't expecting that. That totally surprised me.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? That could happen again at the end of the February contract or the March contract. Someone could be holding
Yeah.
on to a short position, and then who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, natural gas is volatile.
Yeah.
We're kind of seeing it right now. Yeah, if this daily candle, we look at daily candles a lot. By the way, we're not day traders; we're swing traders, and so
hmm
we look at daily candles because I'm not too concerned with what's happening like in the next 15 minutes. I don't know where price is going to go. Like I said earlier, I don't know how to. I guess I don't know how to think about it like that. Like on like a 15-minute basis.
hmm
We look at it more like on daily candles because it's a lot stronger. Everything like the data is a lot stronger when you look at it in that perspective instead of on intraday levels.
Yes.
But yeah, so speaking on that, if today turns into like a shooting star, that would be hugely bearish, and I would expect prices to go back down and retest this 388 area right here, well, somewhere in here. This chart
Yeah, the
behind me.
support. Yeah.
Yeah,
Between 390 horseshoes and hand grenades between somewhere between like 390 $4.
yeah, exactly, somewhere in
hmm
there. See if that is still support, and I mean, not to mention, there's a lot more money to be made in swing trading. It takes a little bit
Way
longer,
more.
but yeah, it's less nerve wracking, and
Yes.
yeah, it's just better all around. That's what we found for trading natural gas. Swing trading
Yes.
is just better all around than trying to day trade. Um, yeah, and so if this turns, I mean, it's kind of like saying water's wet here, but if this daily candle turns into a shooting star, which is like, a huge topping tail or like a big wick on the top with like a bottom or a candle, the oh God, candle body is small, but like the wick is huge on top. That's what a shooting. It looks like a shooting star. I don't know how
Yeah.
else to say it.
Mhm.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
if it turns into that, that'd be a hugely bearish technical indicator. Yeah, and I would expect prices to come way down.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you 100%. Like you were saying about swing trading relative to day trading and the amount of money to be made. And like we said earlier, on that previous spike, I was not expecting prices to go up to over 550, like we've talked about in other live streams. My shorting that started on that trade started like I was being short of like I was being short before that. I was short of like from 480, and then I was able to short from 480 all the way up to there, like building in a position
Right.
because then it's just like, oh, okay, well, it's like I've said before, I'll be that guy. That's cool. I'm really glad you got the price up this side because now I'm going to make way more money when it goes down because I can promise you no one's going to hold the bag to keep prices, at 557 for the next 6 weeks that this contract exists. Like, again, people, it's just like you're just playing like probabilities.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing about commodities is like you can't really have. I mean, it's different, right? Because the contracts expire. I guess trading commodities futures, but the contracts
Yeah.
expire. So you read about things like the Wall Street bets crowd and like what they do like meme stocks. In stocks you have bag holders. It's a lot easier. You can't really have that here. You can't have people holding the bag because the contract expires, and so we see price action like the end of the February contract, where I mean people they're being forced. Someone's coming up and like slapping their hands until they drop the damn bag is what's happening, and and so you can't you
Hmm.
can't have that, and it's something I agree. Like it's not gonna be bag holding here.
Yep. Because
Prices.
in order someone to hold the bag, because we're talking about bag, like for the price, like going back to like when it was at 550, where I'd like see that, I'm like, oh, okay, for someone to do that, they have to one take delivery of the gas. So one, and they have to be willing to just basically like take delivery of all the gas because there's nothing fundamentally supporting that price. So I'm like, oh, okay, this price happened because of there's a lot of different reasons why it can happen. But one of the most fundamental reasons, like why stuff like that happens, is because there are a bunch of people out there who have a lot of money, but they're so greedy that that ton of money is not enough money, so they trade on margin, and so they get forced to close out a short position, even if they initially start a short position. Even if they like initially start a short position at like 480, let's say hypothetically, and then the price gets moved up to over $5, and then for their account where it's then forcing them to buy, and then there's other people in that, and it just feeds off each other. For people who haven't watched, I don't trade margin because I don't want the CEO of my broker to be in charge of my account to decide whether I'm going to buy or sell. I make that decision for myself.
Yeah, don't trade on
And then
margin.
that's why it's easy to just do that. It's just easy to sit there and be like, oh, well, I didn't get like the perfect entry point on a trade, but it doesn't matter. Like, I don't have to realize losses and I can just like make my position even juicier. Cause, and then that's all I do. And then it's like, oh, okay, thanks. I'll just write it down to somewhere else.
Yeah, if you need to
And that's
trade
the
on,
thing.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, if you need to trade, if you don't have money, you need to trade on debt. Then like get borrow. Do you? But like borrow the money from someone who's just gonna like let you have control of it. Don't trade on margin. Yeah, we're seeing VWAP come into play here.
Hmm.
Definitely some resistance there, trying to move back up through it, but it's such a small range. Like it's like 2 cents, 4 cents. Bounced off of 448, went up to VWAP, and now there's more sellers stepping in. What's our daily volume at?
Oh, good question. We're at 40,709. Open interest has dropped since we started talking to 54,942.
Wow.
So some like short positions got closed out. Maybe they were on margin. Maybe they were on margin while we were talking.
Yeah.
No, I think with our open interest, there's a little bit of a delay, because for those who don't know, I do not have a Bloomberg terminal. I don't have one. You know what I mean? So I think there's a little bit of a delay on the open interest, but
Yeah. I think it's daily.
what's changed just from earlier?
Hmm. Yeah, for
It's like,
people who don't know what a Bloomberg terminal is, go check it out. It's like go look it up. It's pretty cool, the idea of it. It's also pretty expensive. Like it's about $30,000 a year to have one and have access to the
mhm.
information. And I would think, to really make use of it, you'd have to have like a super high speed internet, like T1 or
At
better.
least,
Yeah.
yeah, or better, yeah. That's what I would think. I agree. Yeah, I'm with you. And honestly, Bloomberg would obviously disagree with me, but I think they're pointless.
Yeah,
If
we've
you have enough
talked about
money
this
to,
a lot. Yeah.
yeah, if you have enough money to like afford a Bloomberg terminal, then you have enough money to make a ton of money
Without that
without it.
access of information, yeah.
Exactly, you don't even need it. Just keeping it real.
Yeah.
I won't go into the details as to why, but yeah, like you don't need it.
That's like the
That's
level of
where
like
like
working
oh sorry, go
16,
ahead.
like bankers like working 16-hour days, and like sleeping in their office, and that's
Yeah, pointless.
greed. Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, it's just imminent greed. Exactly. That's going back to where I tell people, and I've said it before, and I'm being 100% serious. I got like 19 greedy bones in my body. But that's for people who 100% of their bones are greedy, and they literally just like can't be happy, and they literally think they're gonna like squeeze every penny of money out of the market, like trying to squeeze blood out of a stone. Like they think they're gonna. You're not gonna do that, by the way, people. You think you're gonna like bleed blood out of a stone, but squeeze it out of there and get every little move every single way? You're not. Nobody has. Nobody does. Otherwise, there'd be someone walking around worth like $20 trillion. You know what I
Really?
mean?
Yes,
Like
yes.
literally. So, me, I'm just like, yeah, they're just a big scam to like convince people that they can do something that they can't.
The
Because the
terminal.
only, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, we're moving further and further away from that area, that 5 cent range I was talking about. Um, yeah, I'd kind of like expect it to continue through the day, and then like see see what happens with the volume spike
hmm
later. But
yeah,
yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen today.
it's all good. Nobody does.
Nope, that's why swing trading is so beautiful.
Exactly. Feel good?
Yeah,
Me too. Hey, I hope everybody has a great day, and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's inventory release day.